Football facts for real football fans, part 1. NFL players are 3 to 4 times more likely to contract the Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and Lou Gehrig's disease. Marcus Allen is the only person to win a Heisman, a college football national title, an NFL MVP, and Super Bowl MVP. Phoenix is the only city to have a complete sports equinox, with 4 major sports teams competing all in the same day. On November 4th, 2001, the Cardinals, the Coyotes, and the Suns all lost, while the Diamondbacks won Game 7 of the World Series. A North Carolina man owns the only known 1 copy of Super Bowl I because CBS and NBC didn't save it. The NFL countered his $1 million offer for $30,000. And then the NFL refused to buy it at all and warned him that if he sold it, he'll be faced with legal action. The NFL bans firearms, ammunitions, and female hygiene products for any of their commercial ads.
2 days ago, we ran a Super Bowl ad that could have won the Oscar for Best Short Film.
NFL football player Herschel Walker has split personalities.
How long would you guess that you've suffered from dissociative identity disorder?
I think I suffered with it for a long time. I think it goes back maybe when childhood.
Is DID the same illness that was once known as multiple personality disorder?
And that's exactly right.
He doesn't remember receiving the Heisman Trophy because another one of his personalities was in charge at the time. During the 2014 NFL season, Microsoft and the NFL scored a 5-year deal worth $400 million as the use of the official NFL tablet. The problem was the announcers kept referring to them as iPads.
So one of the things that we've heard the players and the coaches talk about with the iPad that Steve showed you is how clear that picture is and how much more they're getting from that still photograph.
The NFL once threatened to sue churches for having Super Bowl parties. The NFL owns and enforces the trademark, the Super Bowl. And almost all ads and commercials refer to the Super Bowl as the big game. The Minnesota Vikings are the only NFL team to have a human as a mascot. His name is Ragnar. In 1987, the NFL used replacement players for an NFL strikeout.
The Redskins had their quarterback get hurt during the game.
The guy I remember is Tony Robinson, the quarterback. They got him out of jail or something.
Who had just been released from prison on a cocaine charge.
There are 4 teams in the history of the NFL that's never been to the Super Bowl. And those teams are the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Waterboys in the NFL makes a $53,000 salary a year. Only 1 NFL player has died on the field due to a heart attack. His name was Chuck Hughes, and this was in 1971. The game still continued, but with the silent crowd. It wasn't because of a result of a play. One of his coronary arteries was 75% blocked, and he died of a heart attack.
The shocking news that the Lions had also lost their teammate, Chuck Hughes, who died of a heart attack an hour after the game.
The NFL moved the 1993 Super Bowl in Arizona after residents there voted against recognizing Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Arizona can continue its political debate without the Super Bowl as a factor. Instead, the Super Bowl played out in Pasadena, California, and Phoenix lost out on an estimated $200 million boost.
Actor Terry Crews was drafted by the Los Angeles Rams in the 11th round of the 1991 NFL Draft and played for 5 years before starting his acting career. According to a 2009 Sports Illustrated article, about 78% of former NFL players have gone bankrupt or under financial stress after just 2 years of retirement. In a playoff game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Bears, the fog was so thick that players weren't able to see the sidelines and the fans couldn't see the field. The refs had to announce what happened play after play.
It's impossible to see, even from here. You can't even see the screen on the TV.
The longest recorded field goal in college football is 69 yards. The highest recorded field goal in high school is 68 yards. And they're both longer than the NFL's professional record of 64 yards. There are no white cornerbacks on any NFL roster, and there hasn't been any for the last 10 years. The last starting white cornerback was Jason Sehorn. He retired in 2003. And although the NFL is 60% black, the top 33 scorers of all time are all white because they're kickers. Deion Sanders, primetime, is the only player to hit a major league home run and score a touchdown in the NFL in the same week. This is in 1989. And primetime is also the only person to ever play in a Super Bowl and World Series. You ever wondered if every team was to finish with all ties? Well, hypothetically, if that was to ever happen, the NFL would choose the playoff seeds by a coin toss. The NFL is considered a non-profit organization and they don't pay any taxes. And the Green Bay Packers are the only non-profit community-owned NFL team. The owners are its 112,000 fans. The NFL split $7.24 billion in revenue with 32 teams, and the reason that we know that is because the Green Bay Packers put out an annual financial report because they're the only non-profit team. The NFL makes about $9 billion annually, and they're projected to make over $25 billion annually by 2027, and they pay its CEO more than $30 million a year. That's more than 68% of NFL stadium construction costs since 1923, coming from taxpayer money. During a 1958 NFL championship game, an NBC employee posing as a fan ran onto the field to delay the game because the national television feed went dead. The CenturyLink field of the Seattle Seahawks is so loud that the NFL had to investigate it. They wanted to know if the team was broadcasting an artificial crowd through the speakers to disrupt the visiting teams. It takes about 3,000 cows to supply the NFL with enough footballs for the whole season. NFL players are fined up to $5,000 for giving away the game ball to a fan. Former NFL receiver Steve Smith would leave his cleats after every game in the middle of the field to raise awareness for homelessness and people without shoes. If NFL teams don't sell enough home game seats, they won't broadcast the game within a certain radius of the stadium, therefore forcing nearby people to buy tickets to the game. The Pittsburgh Steelers were the first team to have cheerleaders. Men from American Samoan ethnicity are estimated to be 56 times more likely to become an NFL player than other Americans. Jason Brown was the highest paid center in 2009. He quit after making $25 million to become a farmer and donate his crops to food and pantries. Alex Smith took so many AP tests in high school that he entered the university as a junior. The quarterback received his bachelor's degree in 2 years and began working on a master's degree before becoming the first overall pick in the 2005 NFL draft. The NFL owns licensing rights to every NFL team except the Dallas Cowboys. But in 1995, the Cowboys owner Jerry Jones started to make his own deals, and the NFL sued him for $300 million. To make the league back down, Jerry Jones countersued them for $750 million. John Madden was offered unlimited stock to the first NFL Madden game, but declined and later called it the dumbest thing he ever did in his life.